You've heard it all before. Stories of that one depressed, lonely, deprived teenager. The one that finds herself befall by unspeakable tragedies at the cruel hands of her longtime oppressor. It becomes so cliche that you may have even heard the acknowledgement of its overuse elsewhere. This image is only so popular because we are so plentiful. We come from all walks of life, all nationalities, all social statuses. We are the ones whose minds are one with the darkness they fear, the ones whose thoughts are so loud and intense in their heads they find them whispering them out loud, speaking silent words of perpetual blackness into the dead night before us, to be carried by the night's chill into utter obscurity, projecting our madness to the full moon that we may carry some sanity within ourselves, but always to no avail. Perhaps that's all I do now. Speak words into the silent midnight, so pitch black that they meld into it, only to find the company of other deranged minds, whispering the same maddened thoughts, never to meet through the stone barriers of shyness. Enough of this, however. You want to hear tales of monsters, curses, tragedies, and spirits. Those who hunger for such anomalies of the abyss must have enough dark thoughts within them. You don't need mine as well. In my ghetto, inner-city school kids exchange whispers of an old myth passed down from upperclassmen, mostly just to scare the freshmen, or to act like they're involved with their school. Either way, it goes like this. A few years back, there was a young freshman girl who was eager to start her glorious high school career. She would spend every hour of night during the week preluding the start of her new school year, dreaming, pondering, and inquiring the wondrous things to come. No more assigned busy work. The next 4 years would dictate where the rest of her life was headed. Then the first week came. It went perfectly, better than she had imagined during those anxious, hopeful nights. Everybody adored her. Her classes were mild and challenging. It was cruel, as if fate had deemed she should live her dream for another time just as a mere test, just to show her what she was missing, to show her what she would be missing for the rest of eternity. She woke up after a relaxing weekend alone. She could feel joy and anticipation dancing in her young heart. She was so obvious, so confident, so strong. Alas, it would not be good enough. Her mom drove her to school as she did every day. There were one turn away as a smile cracked on her face, a smile that would be warped by evil odds, a face twisted by the devil's cruel fire, a face that would drag many others with her into the burning abyss. What were the odds? A large truck smashed into the passenger side where she was sitting as they began to make the turn, crumbling the feeble metal structure into a steel tomb. The engine began to catch fire, and smoke began to fill her lungs. She could see through the shattered glass the broken image of a desperate mother, smashing her fist into the steel to free her, with a man behind her on the phone. Her seat had been curved, and the door was smashed like tinfoil. Only one opening revealed itself into this burning prison. It was a crack in the glass by the corner of the windshield. She knew that she would stay idle and the smoke would choke her out. That was no way she wanted to die. She reached out and touched the glass, only to rear back in pain. The glass was searing hot, parts of it even melting from the fire. She knew what she had to do. The image of her school and her future infuriated her with an inhuman zeal. She forced her mouth onto the opening and breathed the fresh air, all pain ignored. Her lips peeled back with the heat like plastic to a match, her hair singed and dispatched, her flesh warped and cauterized in place like human clay. Several minutes passed in this agonizing state until through the broken windshield red lights flashed, and sirens sounded over her mother's hysterical cries from watching her beautiful daughter change into this monster just to survive. She spent 3 blind, bitter months in the hospital, the white gauze masking her hideous transformation. Then the day came. The mask was taken off, though nobody could quite find the appropriate reaction. Her lips were charred black outlines for her melted teeth. Her lower jaw seemed almost unhinged. Perhaps worst of all was that look of pure, bitter sorrow and spite when she herself saw what she was. She refused to speak a word. Not that it was easy without proper lips or lower jaw function. She spent the next miserable month in her room, unfit to return to school. She began diving deep into the internet. Perhaps a sick part of her wanted to see its dark underside just to prove to herself that she was not the only one. She eventually couldn't take it. She didn't want to be seen. She couldn't be seen. She logged on to Wikipedia, created a blank page, and began furiously typing all of her spites, all her hate, pouring her heart and channeling her very soul into that page. The story goes that once she has poured all of her soul into that page, she has no reason to stay anchored to her broken body. She parted, before she could post that page, remaining blank for some time. The students that fabricated a myth that you should stare into the blank page for too long. She will suck your soul into it with hers. This is that page. Now, you might ask yourself, why am I going here knowing this terrible myth? Am I some kind of skeptic trying to give you a scare? No. I am here because I am alone. Because here I have someone like me. Someone to whisper dark nothings into abyssal silence with. I'll be joining her soon, and you'll be joining us. We dark-minded people should stick together. Misery loves company. And with each soul stolen in the abyss becomes much less of a void. I do apologize for ruining this page blank reputation, by the way. You are dark-minded like us. It is time that you tragically join us in our little blackness. Of all the pages you choose from, what are the odds?